And this is called pure perfection. Look how it crackles and rustles. You simply must make them. Wonderful. I start by adding 700 grams of all-purpose flour to the mixing bowl. I add 1 teaspoon of salt and now mix all of that a little. Then I pour in 400 milliliters of water. And 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now I will first mix all of that with a spatula, and then I will knead the dough. Approximately when there are no more very wet parts, I start to knead. I mix with the spatula as long as I can, so that too many of these wet parts don't stick to my hands. Then later when I scrape it off. This is easier for me. I will knead until I pick up everything from the bowl, and the whole dough doesn't form into a ball for me. I will take this finished dough out onto the work surface and knead it further there. If it sticks, add just a bit of flour like this. I continue to knead on the work surface until my dough is nicely uniform. This dough needs to be well kneaded. Approximately like this. And now this kneaded dough, I will round it off a bit like this. I pat it down. Then I divide it. Like this and like this. I will divide the dough into 20 parts. You tear off from the larger part, add it to the smaller part, and shape into balls. Like this. We arrange the dough balls. We sprinkle on top with very little flour. We cover with plastic wrap so they don't dry out. We place a cloth on top and let them rest for 15 to 20 minutes. Take 1 dough ball and roll it out on the table with a little flour. Approximately like this, a diameter of about 10 to 12 centimeters, and set aside. And now we repeat that process with all these balls. It stuck a little. You can also dip the side in flour like this and then roll out. Maybe that's even the best way. This goes very quickly. It doesn't take too much time. It's just that you have to roll out more times. 1 large dough, or these several small ones. We take the same plate on which our balls were resting. We soften 200 grams of butter and now place 2 pieces of dough like this. And brush with butter. I place another piece of dough on top. Then I brush again. I will repeat this process until I use up all the pieces of dough and butter. That's how it should be distributed. Each of these piles will have 10 pieces of dough. Look, a mosquito. This is the second to last piece of dough. I will just use up the remaining butter here. That's our last brushing. We will not brush this last layer. Feel free to brush generously so you use everything. And so it layers nicely later. If there isn't enough fat, it won't layer properly. Now we cover these 2 dough cakes of ours with plastic wrap. Take the same one you used. Cover them. You can place a cloth. I actually recommend it so nothing dries out. And we put it in the refrigerator for about 30 to 40 minutes. As much time as you have, it's important that our butter firms up. We take it out of the refrigerator and now take one of these parts. We sprinkle the table with flour. We sprinkle with flour and the dough. Now first, we press it out a bit with our hand like this. Then we turn it to the other side so the rolling is even. We press the other side as well. We sprinkle with a bit more flour, and then we take a rolling pin. We roll left and right, but not all the way to the edge. We leave these edges thicker so that when we roll them out, we make a rectangle. Here, like this. And flip and flip and flip. This is the easiest way for the dough to become a rectangle. Who didn't know now knows. You need to turn the dough several times for it to spread evenly. Now when we roll out the dough like this, I don't know what these dimensions are. Approximately about 40 to 50 by 60. We cut it like this down the middle. Try to make it even and not crooked like mine. And then I cut it into 3 parts. You don't know which is more crooked, but it doesn't matter. And now we will put the cheese filling. You can put whichever filling you want. If the cheese isn't salty, you already know, salt it. Go for fattier, aged cheeses. They boost the flavor. Approximately like this. Now I will add a pinch of salt, since this cheese is not salty at all. Then I will roll them up. Just like this. That's enough. When you roll them up, they look like this. Now I will just put them aside because I will repeat the same process with the other part of the dough. Now it's a bit better. I will leave these 2 plain since I don't have enough cheese. And maybe someone will want to eat them sweet. When they are plain like this, so-called dry, you can eat them with whatever you like. We line the pan with parchment paper. Now we arrange the rolls. Where the butter was, you can pour in some oil and then brush everything. After you brush them, turn the oven on to preheat to 200 degrees. Once the oven is preheated, we take them to bake. The rolls are baked. The baking time is about 40 minutes. I will just quickly show you while there are still some left. Look at them. Listen. Look at that beauty. How flaky and fine it is. Enjoy!